Hello, Sahar. Welcome to RM Talk. We're happy to have you today. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Great. I'm very grateful for you to accept my invitation to do this video. We met at a poetry recital, and I felt that we were all there for a reason. And I thought it was part of the rebirth and the Renaissance. Would you agree?
Definitely, yes.
Can you tell me how so?
Well, I was looking for a group of people to get together with and read my poetry to, just to see how they react to the feelings and the thoughts I'm having about this society we're all stuck in. And I couldn't find the right place or the right people, so I said, hey, why not put together my own group and see what people flow to my sort of event. So I put it together, found a place. I went to Coffee Bean one day, and I was just thinking out loud, talking to myself actually, I'll admit, thinking, hey, where can I host a poetry show? And the guy who was behind me in line happened to manage a restaurant, a deli, on Vine Street in Fountain, and he said, you need a place to have a poetry night? And I said, yeah, come to my place. He gave me his business card. I went the next morning. We set it up for that Wednesday at 7 p.m. I put it on my Facebook, made a little event, open invitation for all, sent it to all my friends on Facebook, and I have a few of those. And everyone told everyone. Pretty soon there was about 15 people who came into the show. When I was outside with my friend trying to convince her not to smoke a cigarette, some people were walking by, and I said, come upstairs and hang out with us. Turns out they're both rappers, and our show started from right that moment, and we've been getting together every other Wednesday since then. It seems as if everyone I'm talking to these days, everyone I open up to and say, hey, I think that people need to be more aware, or people need to be more conscious of something. Groups of people are just flowing to me when I start talking about these
Right.
things.
I was there, and I felt an energy there that we've all been there before, and I had a sense of serendipity. Did you feel that way as well?
Yeah, definitely. I was just looking for someone to talk to about poetry and the society, and this whole thing just played. Basically, the universe put itself together. Everyone's looking for someone to lead them into a better time.
There's always power in the words and bringing people together and leading them that way, and bringing a consciousness and an awakening onto the renaissance that we're experiencing right now. Now, we all agree that the rebirth has happened and is perpetuating, but also we feel that we are vigilant against a common enemy. Do you feel that way as well?
Yeah, everyone hates hate. We have a common enemy. We're all looking for something more positive, some energy to flow to.
Right. Do you feel that a lot of it has to do with the corruption of the government, and people are writing lyrics and poetry
Definitely.
and filming films about an awakening but when we're awake we find out we have to perpetuate a common cause
Right.
to defeat a common enemy.
Corruption, lies, bullshit,
yeah.
basically.
So basically we're here to perpetuate the truth and the enlightenment, and I think this is why the poetry group that you've put together and that I participated in, and thank you,
Thank you for coming.
is a venue for us to perpetuate the enlightenment and the truth about the Renaissance, and even about vigilance against a subversive enemy, which we all have to be aware of. And I think it was a great venue. So we all thank you for that and putting that together. I can't wait to future recitals and poetry meetings that we can all go to. One more thing. Do you feel that right now that our generation is unifying into a force to bring forth truth, light, and happiness to everyone's life?
I feel like there's a lot of things holding people down. The systematic institutions which have been set up by the government, which is now so corrupt that we're held back. And what sucks is that people are holding themselves back out of fear of being the one to stand up and say, hey, something's not right. But yes, I do believe that in my generation, my younger generation, this new youth that is coming together is beginning to perhaps gets stung on the brain by some annoying fly, which is waking people up to look around and start reflecting on what they see, start being conscious of what's going on, of their surrounding, of themselves, of each other, and perhaps we can work towards one another. I don't want to say with a common hatred for the corrupted government, but perhaps a common hope for some more positive, energetic level where we can all vibe on the same frequency together as one.
I think that's great. I think that's absolutely where it's at right now. And would you grace us with a poetry
I would love to.
recital? If you have one special one that you can read to our audience and to our supporters for our RM Renaissance?
All of the special ones are completely, utterly way too long. Here's a short one.
Okay, great.
I'm so confused, frustrated yet amused. We think we're the best people when truly we are not. When a girl gets raped and then a boy gets shot. Hate is increasing to lies we bow down. Trying to teach us to derive when the students are just trying to stay alive. We're all dying to live other people's lives. You don't appreciate anything, not your jobs or your wives. The media confuses us, it loses us. We're used and abused, and all we see on the TV is hatred for you and me. We hurt our friends and let them suicide, find the right lie and behind it we hide. I wonder and I ponder and still there is no answer. We guess, experiment, and no public cure for cancer. They learn, practice, and don't make it as dancers. All these new diets and rehab centers, starting riots and sex offenders. Life these days too complicated, it's a maze, unethical phase. People going through these things, pop pills and call it a phase. Derogatory terms being used in new ways. I wonder why, whatever you do, it always seems to come back to you. I wonder why a person goes to school for 15 years before they're called an adult and forced to face their fears. Why do people love what they cannot have? Why do you not know what you have until it is gone, long gone?
An awakening, a conscious awakening. I was in my backyard back home, and I was smoking, and I randomly, some guy just popped his head over the fence. His mom was my neighbor. He was from out here. He'd been in a band for like 5 years, all in the area, and he ended up telling me about the school. We just vibe chopped it up and ended up just being on this awesome level. And so he told me about the school. I was just planning on going to like community college in Portland and trying to do my music, but kind of just be in school because I had basically parents told me to go to school, so didn't really know what else to do. And he told me about this recording school, and ever since then I've kind of just been on this journey. I made it happen.
It's on Vine Street?
Yep, it's on Sunset.
Sunset?
Yep, the LA Recording School.
LA Recording School.
Mhm.
And you're a hip-hop artist, rapper?
Yes.
MC.
I go by MC. It's my
MC,
initials,
Master
yeah.
Ceremonies.
Yes.
So tell me, what is the ceremony that you're mastering?
Just hip hop, basically. I mean, I think hip hop music at its fundamental form, how it started is, I mean, I love it. I'm in love with it. I love hip hop music. I love the vibes of it. I love the poetic expression, the way
Energy.
the energy of it, and the way just flowing over beats. And I mean, that's what I love to do. I refer to myself as a poet a lot in my music, which I don't necessarily write poetry. I know I write my music, but I try to be very poetic. It's just a different form. I mean,
I feel that all great artists in music, lyricists and vocalists, they're basically great compositionalists, but they have to be in sync and with the beat of the current era that we live in and with the current movement.
Exactly.
Do you have a rap or hip hop that you want to do for us right now that you feel is in sync with the RM Renaissance movement? That you can just knock off like in a couple of minutes?
Yeah, I can bust something off.
All right, go
I'll
ahead.
bust something off. All right.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hoping I don't lose control. What I'm doing, you could fuck around and lose your soul. Damn, I could use a bowl. Tell my weed man, hit me with the usual.
Little Cali Chronic, probably about a quarter of it. It should be legal, I'm a very strong supporter of it. Hide up, so your bullshit, I soar above it. Sorta buzzing, building up my hive until my swarm is ready. Cause I was born this ready, now it's time to make it happen. It's why I'm taking action, trying to start a chain reaction. I know I ain't the only one that's sick of paying taxes right into the pockets of these politician fake bastards. Passing legislation, lacking explanation, and we don't even notice cause we lack an education. It's a damn abomination, and I don't see it changing unless you get off Twitter and evaluate your nation. Or you could ignore it and be a victim. They don't really care about us. Mike said it and they killed him. But back when he was thrilling, the message was pretty different. I love music but disagree with the message of the business. The purpose of my life isn't money and getting bitches. It's doing right by my father and always seeking his wisdom. This is how I live my life. Life is my religion. You could classify it Christian. I just got my own connection. Following my heart, so I got my own direction. Invested my life in this. No loan protection. So many questions left open-ended. All I know is when I look back, I won't regret it.
That's great, Mark. Thank you. I think that's right on. I think it's right on with the era that we're in. I think you have a cause and you're expressing it in hip hop, and that's where it's at right now.
I mean, I think hip hop music has a huge influence on kids and just the youth in general. I think.
And it's it's just a matter of composing and getting the energy out there. And showing them that what we're facing as a generation and what we have to be vigilant against, which is in your hip hop compositions.
I mean, I feel like when you look back to the 60s and the 70s, you know, when music was raw and real, the rock and roll era, music was defiant. You know, it was against the system. It was about, you know, real issues. Artists weren't afraid to make music and make albums and compose great pieces of music about real issues and real topics. And I feel like now, especially in mainstream media, to do that would be a career ender because it's just so frowned upon to even talk about it. I mean, I feel like kids are so afraid to even talk about it because...
Do you feel that they're afraid of the police, that they talk against the government?
I feel like...
So they might be robbed or maybe illegally put in jail?
I feel like that the government has just slowly stuck their fingers in so many different aspects of our lives, and I feel like we're just all kind of under this blanket to where the big bad guy behind the desk, he what he says goes, you know? And we as a people, I feel like all of us individually feel threatened by our own government, and I don't feel like any of us feel protected.
But it's always, we have our First Amendment rights and we have the freedom of speech.
And exactly, and those rights are they're being slowly taken from us.
So you said we all should unite as a generation.
I definitely think we should. I think that through music and just through culture and through unity and through positive energy
and through arts of the humanities.
Exactly, I feel
which music is a great part of.
And I feel like mainstream music, the values that are being blasted out on the radio are just terrible. I feel like they're all just based on money, and there's way too much, you know, sex in the music, especially for young girls. I have two nieces who are both under 7 years old, and I was listening to the top 40 radio station back home, and I had to turn the radio off.
Oh.
And it lit a fire. Like, I got so angry that I was sitting in the car with my nieces, and I had to turn the radio station off that I grew up listening to.
I see. So you feel a common cause in uniting artists is a way of dissolving the oppression which our generation has suffered and bringing forth our common human rights and perpetuating as a generation truth and light.
Exactly.
And that is where you're at right
now. If the artists say it, the people will listen.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, Mark. Thank you. Have a great career.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.